And we back again. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through this. This is a trade review, and this trade here is a trade that's not part of my strategy. But I opened up an account specifically to take this trade because I want to pass the challenge and I want to get funded. So I saw this set up here. I saw that we had a nice amount of space. So at around this time, I placed 2 trades and I just put the TPs as high as I can until it makes how much money I needed, which was 950. And I placed a stop loss around there. And I said to myself, listen, I am not going to take this off until I win. I either win or I lose. But the good thing is that I made sure that I was only risking £400. So if I did lose, I wouldn't lose the account. I'll live to trade another day. So that's what I set out to do. I set out and said to myself, I'm going to place this TP and this S and this stop loss, and I'm not going to move it. I'm not going to close it early. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to either win or lose. And boy, did I go through the motions. I went through these motions. I'm just going to stop it there. I went through these motions. I saw it go up, and then I saw it go down. And when it went down, I was thinking maybe I should close it down. I was such an idiot. But I stopped. I didn't do anything. And then it leveled out, and it started to go up. And I was asleep while this was happening. It was consolidating, and I was in profit. I was sitting in profit. I could have closed it then, and I would have been up a nice amount because I got the direction. I don't know how much it is. All I know is I said to myself, no, I set my sights on passing this challenge, and I'm going to pass this challenge. So I sat on the money, and I saw it go up and down, up and down. I'm thinking, wow. But guess what? It was going upwards, and I was thinking, yes. I was shouting, and I was begging for it to go, and I was begging for it to go. And then this happened. It came crashing down, and it hit my stop loss. And I think I was up around £750 here, and I could have closed it, but I didn't. And I ended up losing 400. The feeling of elation and euphoria going from here to down here to go into that emptiness and that just feeling like all the excitement's been drained from you. I had a concert that day too. I still went to the concert, but I was just thinking, man, I can't even be asked to go. I can't even lie. But I'm glad I did. I went. It was a good experience. It was, good energies, good vibes. It's a great show. And it was a very harsh lesson. I questioned whether or not I was going to be able to do this. I was questioning, like, why did I do that? Why did I take that risk? But if you do not take a risk, you're not going to get anywhere. That's it. There's no fancy saying, like, if you don't take a risk, you're not going to get anywhere. And that's what I thought to myself. I'm not going to get anywhere in this trading game if I don't start passing these challenges. And I need to start passing these challenges. And I can still maintain my strict discipline, but I'm seeing setups, but I'm not taking them because they're not part of a strategy. And I'm just thinking, why am I wasting my time not taking these setups that I'm seeing? Like, I saw the direction here. Yes, I didn't manage this trade correctly. I should have had a trailing stop, or I should have moved it to break even. And that was actually the lesson that I got from this. The lesson I got from this is once the stock is nicely in your favor, you move that stop loss to break even. I don't care what you do. You move that stop loss to break even, because psychologically, I cannot handle being in profit and then it losing. I can't handle that. That's what I learned. I learned from this trade that I cannot handle going from being in profit to hitting my stop loss. I just can't handle it. And that's fine. That's okay. Now I know the next time I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to place this trade and it's either going to be a win or a lose. I know now I have to add, but I know psychologically I can't handle the trade going from up, down. So I'm going to move the stop loss to break even when it gets high enough. As in when it's sitting in profit and it's made a nice little, like not here, because that's just straight away. Like, give it some time, and then if it doesn't reach up there, like if it's here, if I'm watching the trade and it's just up, I'm gonna pull it to stop loss. Maybe give myself a little bit extra, like £10-15 or whatever, I don't know, but like I'm gonna put it to stop loss every time now. And now I learnt my lesson. And I never would have learnt that lesson if I didn't take this trade. And this is a new frontier for me. I'm outside of my comfort zone with this. And what ended up happening was, after I went to the show, after I felt a bit better about myself, and after I regrouped, I sat down and I planned out what it is that I was going to do. Because obviously, I'm taking this seriously now. I bought another challenge after that. So that other challenge is still there. It's still sitting there. But what I'm doing now is I'm trying to figure out a way to pass this challenge, because I'm just sick and tired of not passing it. So I did this back test October 1st. I'm doing this back test now, and basically I'm setting up a trade because I had to work out how I can pass this. Like, I need to pass this. I placed 2 trades before. I was thinking maybe I can use multiple TPs, and I was thinking, all right, cool, I'll put four trades down at 1% risk, but then the stop loss wasn't enough. Then I was thinking maybe I'll target something, and I was thinking, but what stop loss do I use? What's my lot size? Like, how do I do this? And I got to the conclusion, with a little help with ChatGPT, I've got to add, little help with ChatGPT, but who doesn't get help from ChatGPT these days? Do you get what I'm saying? I realized that I need a 2.5 risk to reward ratio, and the stop loss is the unknown figure. The take profit is the known figure. So you just do the TP over the risk to reward, and then you'll get the stop loss. And that's essentially how I set this trade up here, what you're seeing now. Like, what you're basically seeing here, people call it a liquidity sweep. And by people, I mean, when I asked ChatGPT what this is, it said a liquidity sweep. And I'm looking at it, and it's looking back at me, and I'm thinking, I don't know if that's a liquidity sweep. To me, you know what that is? That's a hammer. That's a hammer, and it's at a place which used to be support. Like, that's all that is to me. That's nothing else other than a hammer. And normally when I see a hammer, I'm thinking, all right, cool, it's going to go back up. And I know it's going to go back up. And I know it's going to probably go to about here. That's kind of what I'm seeing. From what I'm seeing, my analysis. And I know that's how it is. And I know that's the target, 145. So I know, do that divided by 2.5, you get 58. So I know this is how I'll set up the trade. And, if I risk 4%, then I'll make 10%. So essentially this trade here is risking 4% to make 10%. 10% is how much you need to pass the challenge. You can risk 5% a day. This aligns with the strat. This aligns with everything. And the good thing about this as well is that the ATR is 46, but this stop loss is 58. So the stop loss. So how this strategy is that it uses a bigger stop loss. And not only am I considering the target, but I'm also considering where I'm placing my stop loss. The stop loss is making sense because this stop loss here is very close to the low. It gives you enough breathing room. Maybe not as much breathing room as I like. I probably wanted a bit more breathing room, but because the TP was so tight, it's only there. I'm only putting it there. I could put it a little higher, and that would have given me a bit more breathing room down there. But I thought this was fine. This was okay. This was fine. But now I'm filtering out trades that haven't got a good stop loss. If the stop loss doesn't make sense, then I don't take the trade. Because now we're thinking about each trade individually. Instead, we're thinking about it in a different way rather than just having a mechanical setup. Like, we're gonna place this trade here, ATR 1-3, and we're ignoring all these other factors that we know that are there, but we're just ignoring all these factors for some strange reason. And it's I'm sick and tired of it because I'm taking losses when I know I shouldn't be. Because look, it just goes straight up beautifully. And that would have won me the challenge. And that's, to me, is powerful because I'm thinking to myself, wow, I'm not looking at just trades anymore. I'm not looking at how over 100 trades I could be. I'm not looking at that because that's too far ahead in the future. I'm looking at how I can pass this challenge. And that's what I want to do. I want to pass these challenges. So looking at this trade and thinking, literally October 1st, if you traded exactly like this, you put your stop loss at 58, your TP at 145 pips away, and you figured out what the lot size was to risk 4% on the trade, and you press place the trade, you would have passed the challenge. And that would have, obviously it went higher, but I don't give a damn if it went higher. Like, I don't give a damn. I'll care if it's 1%. I'll care if I'm doing a set strategy. But if I'm just trying to aim for glory, I only need that 10%. Once I get that 10%, then I can be like, all right, cool. How much money can I make? Because right now I'm not worried about how much money I can make, and I think that's the thing. That's the mindset I had to shift from. We got another one here that's coming up, and you can already guess what's gonna happen. But like, I'll just chill. But like, yeah, you get what I'm saying. Like, I saw this set up here, and this is kind of an EMA jump. So, because it's an EMA. Well, it's not really. I think the target. Yeah, my targets were based over here. So this target was here. So I'll stretch this out. So that's actually where the target was based. I just drew lines out, and I just said, all right, which one do I want to do? There's one up here, there's one down here, there was one here, and I was like, all right, this one will do. So I just said, all right, I'll just aim for that. So 165 divided by 1 divided by 2.5, 66 pip, and I was like, yeah, that's a good enough space. If price comes down here, then I want to be out. It's going down, like that's the thing. If you place your stop loss where it makes sense. So if you think if price comes down, it comes all the way down here, price is likely going down. Like, so you're wrong, but if price dips down a little bit, that's fine. Basically, I just don't expect price to be below this low, and give it a little room as well for the wicks. So yeah, I was happy with that. So place the trade. It's it's just chilling. And there you go. Another challenge passed. And it's like that's kind of where I'm at. And I'm gonna do a live trade. Here because I need to think about this. I need to think about how I want to actually trade it. And yeah, here. This probably isn't the best one, to be honest, because I actually think this is gonna go up higher. So this is actually not the best one. Because I actually think this is gonna. Yeah, I actually don't like this trade, to be honest. But how I would trade it if I was being serious, how I would trade it if I was gonna do it, I would do an EMA jump on it, but like a down EMA jump. So what's that? 500, 1,000, 960. So my aim would be to get 960. So this is how I would do it. So 960 divided by 2.5. Obviously, I can't figure that out. But luckily, I've got a calculator here, so let me just calculate that. Yeah. So yeah. So this is how I would look for a trade. You see what I did there? I had the target, which I worked out with my EMA jump strategy. But like, you can also just use market structure to find a target. This market structure is market structure kind of is useful there, but I used the EMA jump, got kind of there anyway, so it's fine. And then you use that TP divided by 2.5, and then you get the stop loss. And then you can look at this and think, all right, cool, am I happy with that stop loss? And I'm like, not really, no, because it's very close to it's not near the high at all. Like, there's all this space here. Like, price can come here and just wick up easily. So I'm like, I'm not happy with that trade. So that'll filter out that trade. I wouldn't take that trade. And look, it kind of comes up here, so it's probably going to wick me out anyway. So that's kind of how I'm trading now. I'm trading based on kind of gut feeling, gut instinct. But it's different. I'm managing the risk on my gut instinct. So it's not, all right, maybe there would have been another trade here. Like, there would have been another trade here. There's definitely a signal here. Because I'm thinking, oh, okay, price is coming down. 50, so that's 100 there. 102, yeah, let's do 102. What's that? 2.5 over 102. What's that? $4.8. So yeah, you look at that and you're thinking, is that good? And you're like, well, no, not really. It's not looking good. So I'm just not going to take it. And luckily I didn't, because look, it wicks you out straight away. And then I'm thinking, all right, cool. What about this? What about going upwards though? What about going upwards? I'm thinking, yeah, because you see that's a mini engulfing pattern, and you got a little target here, but this is a more conservative target. But I think this target here, you got, what's that, 140? You got 140, so. And again, when I'm looking at the charts, I'm doing this much faster. But I'm just doing this for the camera, really, just to show you on the camera. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, is that good? And I'm like, there's a lot of space down here. So I'm thinking that's probably not the best type of trade. That's not the best setup at all for me. So I'll just leave it. Even if it does go up, look, it goes up. I'm just not comfortable with it. And you can see here, there's a trade I am comfortable with. So we're going to see what happens. Comes down. And we got a little, so you see what we did here? You see what we got here? What we got here, we made a little high up here, we made a line and we said, all right, we're going to target that, 126, and then we got a little gap, then we got a nice wick, we got a nice wick, another hammer, and we saw what happened with the hammer last time. And I'm like, I don't even need that much. Like, I don't care if it doesn't blow up. I don't need it to blow up. All I needed to do is hit that spot there. That's it. Just hit that line there. That's it. Guess what it does? Guess what it does? It stays up here for a bit, comes down, and if you're not careful, you might have put it to break even there. So like, that's something to look out for. It might hit broken even, but it's still in the game. And look, it taps it in the end. So this trade actually shows you the dangers of the break even. It actually shows you the dangers of break even because it hits it a couple times. Like, you're up here and it falls back down and you're thinking, shit, I should have put it at break even. You might put it at break even very early on, but you might even put it here and it taps it. So it's very hard. That's a very difficult one. But if you hold it out, then you're good. So discretion is needed. Judgment is needed. But this trade wins. Long story short, this trade wins. And it doesn't come near this bottom bit here. So you're safe. So yeah, that's kind of how it looks. It's kind of how that's where I'm at the minute. That's where I'm at. Here, this one's interesting because this is actually a straight EMA jump. EMA jump, this is my strategy. And it's at 8 o'clock. It's my strategy. And it's like, there's no other levels. There's no other levels. This is as high as it goes. So there's no actual level to look for. So that's why I did the EMA jump. And it loses straight away. It loses straight away. It doesn't make it at all. Loses straight away. So it's almost thinking, maybe I should wait. Because honestly, mate, it's like I'm just doing arbitrary things. Like I'm not, when there's a level to aim for, I'm much more comfortable trading that way because when you have a target, it's easier to set the TP, and I kind of know where price can go, like where price has been before. Recently, I'm using the market structure, so I like it when price goes up and then comes back down because then I can just meet it upwards, and I don't even have to meet it all the way up. With my risk management, it's just a new paradigm. It's a new way of thinking about trading. It's a new way of viewing the markets, and obviously I've had ideas before. I've had crazy ideas before, and you saw that this doesn't work every time. This is like cherry picked trades that I've probably seen like a couple times already as well. So there's a bit of implicit bias. I haven't back tested this over enough trades yet to say that it can work. But and obviously I'm going to say but it's a start, and it's a start of something that's a bit more exciting for me. I'm gonna aim to pass the challenge. So and I'm just gonna keep going until I pass it. I'm just going to keep shooting until I score a bucket because all I need is one bucket. Just one bucket. Get me a chance to play in the big leagues, to play in the funded leagues. And if a strategy comes out of this, then the strategy comes out of this. If I find a strategy with an edge, okay, cool. I'm really going down the path of let the strategy reveal itself to me rather than me try and predefine it and put it on the markets. Like I'm just going to use my discretion, go into chaos, go in the weeds, and just try and see what I can find. Because I think that's how I am anyway. I know this is very narcissistic. I'm there talking about how I am, but this is part of the journey of being a trader. You have to find out how you trade You can't trade like a robot. Someone can give you a strategy, and if it doesn't fit you, it's not going to translate to profits on the charts. You have to find something that fits you, and that's what I'm finding right now. I'm finding stuff that fits me. I use the EMA jumpers almost like training wheels, and now I can take them off, and I can just look and see what I see. You know, I see the hammers happening. I see the market structure forming. You know, I can see where the TPs are. I'm taking all the knowledge that I've learned over all the years of studying trading, and I'm finally just letting it be free. So, you know, took the trade the other day, didn't go my way. I learned a valuable lesson. Put your stop loss to break even. You know, if you're taking pictures of the trade and it looks great, maybe you should take it. But the strategy, as far as the strategy goes, you put your trade to break even once it's in profit and it's comfortable. So I learned that lesson, and now I've even learned how to place the trade in a way where I only have to place one trade, set the lot size so it risks 4%, and then aim for 10. And now I've set that up. I never had that. I never had this system before until I took that trade. So it was a valuable lesson, and it forced me to grow. I went out of my comfort zone and I've grown. I've grown as a trader now. I never had this way of trading until I took that trade. If I didn't take that trade, I would not have found this way that I found now. So take the risk. If that's the one thing you take away from this video, it's take the jump. Leap across the mountain and try and aim for it. Because understand, you have many lives in this game. In this game of trading, you have loads of lives. You know, it's like a game. If you treat it like a video game, you've got loads and loads of lives. You're not going to die if it flipping... You're not going to die. It's not going to be game over if it hits that stop loss. Especially if you understand risk management. If you understand risk management and you set your stop loss properly, game over is when you hit 5%. If you set it at 4%, even if it goes 420, 430, it's not going to go 480. It's not going to slip 480. And if it does, you're just unlucky. That's why I have it at 4%, you know? And it worked. And I placed the trade and it hit. And it was 420. Kept me in the game. You know, I've got another life here. I've got another life. And that's fine. I'll take that life and I'll run with it. Obviously, I bought another account. I just reset the game. Now I can play again. 2 more. I got another life. Let's go. Let's play. And I still got the other account. And, you know, when I understand this trading game, when I get funded, when I get some money coming in, rolling in, then, you know, I'll go connect up the trades, and then I'll just place trades, and then I'll lift those other accounts up with my trading skills, making money. So I'm actually making something from this game. So yeah, but yeah, that's it. I just wanted to share that. It was a trade review plus a back test plus a lesson, I guess. And yeah, I'm just on a different thing. I'm on a different thing towards the end of this year. Completely different thing. And yeah, I just can't wait to use it. But yeah, that's it. Peace out.